Hello, this is Dan Petrock. I'm a faculty liaison for distance learning at Des Moines Area Community College. Just thought I'd make this short video to help our faculty get ready for using the Blackboard gradebook spring of 2017. For many of you, this may be redundant, or you've done a lot of these changes in the past, but I thought just to make a quick overview of what things you should do with your gradebook, make sure it has the right columns, and get you started off the right foot. So I'm just going to go to my full grade center here. This is a course that has nothing in it. It's just totally blank. It comes with all the generic things. And if you're someone who uses just straight total points, then I'm going to show that first. And then if you use weighted grades, I'm going to show that kind of second. So for me, I really don't care to see their username, so I'm going to go ahead and hide that. Click that little drop down, hit hide instructor view. I don't actually need to see their student ID either, so I'm going to hide that. You know, it's up to you if you want to see their last access or not. You can leave that. Availability, I usually don't want to see that as well. As you can see here, I have weighted total and total. So if you're someone who uses just total points, obviously that's what you're going to want, and that would be your green check mark. If you're using weighted total, you would want that to be what you'd show, and you would hit set as external grade. So whichever one the green check is the external grade. So let's go through first if you're just going to use points. So right now I'm just going to hit edit column information here, and you can see this is just going to be their total points so far in the course. Its primary display is going to be the score, or the number of points they've earned in the course. And if you think, if you change the secondary display to something else, that is only for the faculty member and not the student, which is why, well, we want to make sure we set up some other columns for students. So right now it just has kind of the points, but we'd also be interested in their percentage and also their letter grade. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to add some columns. So now we're going to set up two more other columns. Since we have their total points, we also are interested in their percentage and their letter grade. So I'm going to go up here to create calculated column, go to total column, and I'm just going to call this total grade percentage. And so this again is going to take into account all of the grading columns, keep it as a running total, but our primary display is going to be percentage. And that's pretty much all we have to do there. So I'm going to hit submit. And when you add new columns, it puts it at the end, and this is total grade percent. And I'm also going to add one more total column. I'm going to say total letter grade. And then its primary display will be letter. And hit submit. So really we have three total columns, one for the points, one for percent, and one for letter. And what I'd probably like to see the students see first is the total grade, probably as a percentage. So I'm actually going to put that one and set that as external. And now the total grade is going to be there. So I'm going to kind of reorganize this a little bit. Now, if I'm doing straight points, I don't need a weighted total grade. So I could just go ahead and just delete that column. So I've deleted the weighted total. I just have total, the three total columns, and I'm going to hit manage column organization, so you can kind of see what this looks like. So whenever you're kind of wondering what does my whole grade book look like, this is a good way to do this. And as you can see, this grade area, so I think I want the percentage to come first. So I'm going to click and drag that right here. Try to anyway. There we go. Drag that up. And I'm going to move it all the way up here right after the name. And then I think I'm also going to go ahead and put their total letter grade next and points. Now, when you have it in this gray area, it's frozen, which means even as you scroll through your assignments, these three things will persist. If you want to keep all of them scrolling through, you can move those up in the gray area as well. The same thing with last access, if you want that to be up here. So you can play around with whatever your preference is. If it's in the grade area, it will always show on your screen no matter where you're at in your grade book. If you move it out, it's just will be the first thing seen by your students as they scroll down the page. So I'm going to hit submit. So you can see here, I get their total grade as a percentage. I'm going to go ahead and hide this one. I don't need to see last access. And there we go. So there's their first name, or last name, first name, and then their three total columns: points, letter grade, and grade. Now, if you're someone who uses plus and minuses like I do, then if you've never set this up before, you're going to have to create a grading schema. So I'm going to go Manage, Grading Schemas. And if I go under Letter, I'm going to hit Edit here. And as you can see, its default is just the normal ABCD. Now I want to add pluses and minuses, so I'm just going to do that really quick. So I'm going to click here to add a row. And I'm going to go, I want A minus, let's see here, I want A to go from 93. For me, I want 93 to 100. And then for A minus, I want 90 to 93. And then I want to add another row here. So then for B plus, I want it to be 87 to 90. And then for B, I want that to be 83 to 87. And then I'm going to add a row here for B minus. And I want B minus to be 80 to 83. And then I better add another row here for C plus. Plus I want to be 77 to 80. I've got C, that's going to be 73 to 77. Let's do C minus. It's going to be 70 to 73. And then I want D plus. As you can see, I'm adding right there. D plus. That would be 67, 70. I want to go 63, 70, and then I want to add a column here for D minus. And that's going to be 60 to 63, and then anything from 0 less than 60 is going to be an F. So let's hit submit here. Now, sometimes this happens as we'll calculate this value must be within range. So there's well calculated. These have to be within the specific ranges. So for instance, this needs to be between 90 and 93. So I better change that one to 90. And let's see if there's any others that look suspicious. Yeah, that one looks weird. 80. So these have to be within those ranges. That looks good. That one has to be 70. So there we go. This has to be 60. Let's see if it likes that. There we go. So now, if you go to Letter, Edit, you should see I've got all my pluses and minuses in place here. And so when students come in, and I hit Grade Center. So now their letter grades will be reported out based on that scale. So great, we've got our total column percentage, we get their total column as a letter grade, and we also have their points. And the next thing I'm going to do is put in the last date of attendance. So I'm just going to create a column, and I'm going to put that last date of attendance. And this is just for students who stop attending and fail your course. It allows you an opportunity to type in that date. So if you notice the student's hasn't been coming, you can type in that date, and then we can always look and find that later for DMACC records. So primary display here is going to be text. It's in with 0 points. And the one thing we want to make sure is we don't want students to see this column. So show this column to students. The answer is no. And submit. So now you see we have a hidden column that you can type in. So there we go. This is pretty much what's necessary for you to have in everybody's gradebook. And as you keep adding items, you just hit create column, name it, assign your points, and that's pretty much your straight points column. If you want weighted grades, I'm going to make that in another video.